Right now, think about the last time you dropped something in public. You didn't just pick it up. You picked it up faster. You checked who saw. Some small part of you performed embarrassment, even if nobody actually cared. Now think about the last time you dropped the exact same thing completely alone in your kitchen. No flinch, no audience, no performance. Just you, picking something up off the floor like it was nothing. Same action. Two completely different people showed up to do it. So, which version is actually you? Psychologists have been studying this exact question for over a century, and the answer reveals something strange about how much of your personality only exists because someone else is nearby to witness it. In 1898, psychologist Norman Triplett noticed something odd while studying cyclists. Riders consistently pedaled faster when racing against another person than when riding the same distance completely alone, even with no strategy involved, no competition, just another human present. He called this social facilitation, and it became one of the earliest documented cases of a strange rule your brain follows constantly. The mere presence of another person changes your performance without you ever choosing for it to. But here's where it gets more complicated. Later research found social presence doesn't just make you better. Sometimes it makes you dramatically worse. Psychologist Robert Zajonc discovered that presence helps you on simple, well-practiced tasks, but actively hurts you on complex, unfamiliar ones. A skilled pianist plays a memorized piece better in front of a crowd. That same pianist, sight reading a piece for the first time, often performs worse under the exact same audience. Your brain isn't simply on or off around other people, it's recalculating, constantly, based on what kind of performance is being watched. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If being watched can silently improve or sabotage what you're capable of, how much of your daily competence is actually about skill, and how much is about who happens to be in the room? There's an even stranger layer to this. Psychologist Mark Leary developed something called self-presentation theory, and his research suggests you don't just behave differently around others. You construct an entirely different version of yourself for them, often without any conscious decision to do so. This isn't lying, it's something closer to automatic tailoring. The version of you at a job interview isn't fake, exactly. It's a real version of you, selectively amplified. The version of you laughing loudly with old friends isn't fake either. It's another real version, brought forward because that audience calls for it. Which means the question, who are you, really, might not have a single answer. You might not be one consistent person wearing different masks. You might be several genuinely different versions of yourself, each one only fully emerging when the right audience walks into the room. This gets even more unsettling when there's no audience at all, and you still act as if there is. Researchers studying what's called the watching eyes effect have found something remarkable. In multiple field studies, simply placing an image of eyes, not a real person, just a picture, near an honesty box or a shared space measurably changed human behavior. People contributed more money. People littered less. A flat image with no ability to actually observe anyone still triggered the same self-monitoring instinct as a real, present witness. Your brain, in other words, doesn't need real surveillance to start performing. It only needs the suggestion of being seen. Evolutionary psychologists believe this instinct runs deep, and for good reason. For most of human history, your reputation within a small group wasn't a minor social concern. It was directly tied to survival. Being seen as trustworthy, competent, and cooperative determined whether people shared resources with you, protected you, or chose you as an ally when it mattered. Being seen as unreliable or selfish could get you excluded from the group entirely, which for most of human history was a genuine threat to staying alive. Which means the small flinch you feel when you think someone's watching you drop something isn't random anxiety. It's an ancient reputation management system, still running, still scanning every room you enter for potential witnesses, long after the actual survival stakes disappeared. So the next time you notice yourself behaving slightly differently, the moment someone walks into the room, standing a little straighter, speaking a little clearer, performing competence you weren't performing seconds earlier alone, understand what's actually happening. You're not being fake. You're running one of the oldest social operating systems your species has ever built, quietly deciding, moment to moment, which version of you the room requires. The question was never which version is the real you. They all are.